Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Folks, there are big economic challenges facing us this fall. In fact, they await the Biden administration and the Federal Reserve this fall. Here's the headline of an article on your screen from the New York Times. Big economic challenges await Biden and the Federal Reserve this fall. Expiring unemployment benefits and the Delta variant add a lot of uncertainty to a recovery that has brought strong growth but an unusual labor market. Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time, everyone. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Please take a moment of your time to click the like button, to click subscribe and enable notifications if you haven't done so already. A significant amount of effort goes into the creation of these videos, and you can support our channel by clicking the like button and by subscribing and by enabling notifications so you get the latest unbiased news on our channel. Let's just jump right in. So we are heading towards a very uncertain fall because the Delta variant is actually surging across the country. Yes, folks, it's surging across the country, and this is creating unexpected challenges for the White House and the Federal Reserve in managing this recovery. A lot of individuals in the White House have been saying that, hey, things are going to get better this fall. Things are going to get a whole lot better. But despite the availability of the vaccines, the reopening of schools, and despite the expiration of the $300 a week coming up on the 6th of September, millions of employers are saying that they are having trouble filling jobs. And also, folks, the Delta variant and the way we are responding to the Delta variant is actually pretty concerning. Big companies have already started delaying return to office plans, and this, folks, could mean that the recovery could take longer than expected. On top of that, as you know, and we've reported this on our channel, many states, 26 states, a majority of them Republican governors, have actually decided to end the $300 a week prematurely. So what is happening right now? What is happening is that Congress is working on an infrastructure bill, and they are also trying to create, they meaning the Democrats are trying to create a reconciliation bill that is going to include the most progressive aspects of the Democratic agenda. A lot of White House economists have said that they see no need yet to consider major new measures to bolster the recovery. After months of strong growth, falling unemployment numbers, and complaints from business leaders and Republicans that the government support is actually making people stay at home and not get back to work, a lot of administration officials are saying, hey, we need to continue the course, and that is the challenge here. Now, the $300 a week unemployment benefits, the $300 a week booster is scheduled to end on the 6th of September. But I can tell you that it's very unlikely that this will be extended because there is no political will to actually extend this. Also, there is no political will for new lockdowns. President Biden said this. He said the virus will not lead to new lockdowns, shutdowns, school closures, and disruptions like last year. He said we are not going back to that. Now, the problem here is that as the Delta variant surges, a lot of individuals could actually be forced to work from home. In fact, President Biden asked states to use money from the March stimulus, the American Rescue Plan, to pay $100 to every newly vaccinated person, and said the government would reimburse employers who give workers time off to be vaccinated, or to others who encourage others who will take shots. Here's a quote from Brian Deese, who's the director of the National Economic Council. He said this: "We have held the view from the beginning that addressing the pandemic and recovering the economy were inextricably linked. That continues to be true. But because of the progress that we have made in addressing the pandemic and in putting in place both historic and durable economic policy supports, we have a set of tools right now to address both of these challenges." Now, the Federal Reserve is essentially waiting and watching. In fact, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, said this: "There's also been very generous unemployment benefits, which are now rolling off. They'll be fully rolled off in a couple of months. All of these factors should wane, and because of that, we should see strong job creation going forward." In other words, he's indirectly saying, hey, we expect people to get back to work. Now, President Biden had said in a CNN forum in Ohio on the 21st of July that he sees no evidence that these extra unemployment benefits have had, I quote, a serious impact on hiring. But folks, one thing is for sure, when these things run out on the 6th of September, people will have no choice but to try and get back to work because these $300 a week benefits will run out, unfortunately, for the most vulnerable amongst us. President Biden said this: "We're ending all of those things that are the things keeping people back from going back to work." That actually is what President Biden said. So you actually heard that from the President of the United States saying, hey, people should now be able to get back to work. Here's a quote from Neil Kashkari, who's the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, he said this on CBS's Face the Nation. 7 to 9 million Americans should be working right now if the pandemic had never happened. So that's a lot of Americans that we need to put back to work. But is it 6 months or is it 2 years? I'm not sure. That, folks, is the predicament. We can all agree that everyone wants to be able to get back to work. Hopefully the same job they had, maybe even a better job if they decide to switch careers. But the challenge is the Delta variant. The challenge is the vaccination rate. And the challenge is the most vulnerable amongst us, specifically in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality, still facing all sorts of challenges to be able to get back to work. And that really is the most difficult part of all this. So what is happening right now? Can the economy achieve the goal of maximum unemployment? It's too soon to tell. We really don't know at this point in time. Employers are arguing that all these unemployment benefits are preventing people from getting back to work. Here's a quote from the Atlanta Fed's qualitative report on business conditions found in June. Many contacts were optimistic that labor availability would improve in the fall as schools restart and enhanced unemployment benefits end. However, there were several who do not expect labor supply to improve for, believe it or not, for 6 to 9 months. And this is an important quote from Peter Ganong, who's an economist at the University of Chicago. He said, so far, we see small employment differences even when vaccines are becoming available. So, folks, it looks like this is going to be really a drawn out recovery process. And he also cautioned that his research tracked the supplemental insurance. For many workers, unemployment benefits could come to an end altogether as all the extensions lapse, which could have a bigger effect, which could lead to some sort of a cliff for those individuals. Now, can the labor market improve? Can a lot of people participate in the labor force? Absolutely. This is what Chairman Jerome Powell said. Generally speaking, Americans want to work and they'll find their way into the jobs that they want. It may take some time though. So folks, this is the big challenge, the uneven nature of the economic recovery, the Delta variant, and the fact that unemployment benefits are about to expire on the 6th of September. And these are the huge challenges facing America this fall. I believe that those of us who have been left behind will find a way to get back on their feet, because that is the American way. That is the American spirit. I have faith in every single one of our viewers and subscribers. And I encourage you, if you're not able to get back to your old job, try and find a way to improve your skills, whether it's watching YouTube videos, reading books, going to the library, so that you can re-engineer your skills and maybe start a business or maybe find other employment elsewhere, because that is American ingenuity at work. I believe we can all work hard, and hopefully all of us have a fair shot at the American dream. I will always do my best to help you get there. And all I ask of you is please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. I am with you and I will help you in every which way I can. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I was able to overcome the cycle of poverty, and I'll help you overcome the cycle of poverty. Follow me on Twitter. This right here is my Twitter handle, and my Twitter handle is ignition_time. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.